Well, jeepers! You're listening to Smash or Pass with JayBee, Millie, and Smash.
In today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at Scooby Doo and Batman. Is it Brave and Bold or The Brave and the Bold?
It's The Brave and the Bold. It's
Brave and the
Scooby Doo
Bold.
and Batman, The Brave and the Bold.
So, JayBee, I'm passing it over to you this week. For those people who've not seen this one for a little while, or like us hadn't seen it at all, tell us the basic plot.
Okay, so first of all, I need to apologise to anyone watching this somewhat visually, because I did accidentally forget to switch out all the Christmassy things. So that's a bit of a stinky on my part, but hopefully it cheers up some people, because Christmas is just a good time. But yeah, this is the plot summary that I really haven't prepared for. So, Scooby Doo and the Brave and the Bold is a 2018 movie starring Frank Welker, DeLisle, Kate Micucci, and Matthew Lillard. And, of course, it is the Scooby Gang collaborating and teaming with Batman along with a ragtag group of DC superheroes such as Black Canary, some geezer with no face, and Aquaman, along with a few more, like, I think it's Plastic Man, but at the time I confused it with Elongated Man, which I've been corrected on. But they go on a mystery to find out who is this red phantom shadow that's terrorizing the town. Batman suspects that it's got deeper ties to their own past and their own failures. However, is that necessarily the case? I guess we'll find out in this episode.
Ooh. So, I think a good starting point here is to establish perhaps like where we were all at with Batman before we'd seen this. So, JayBee, what was your Batman knowledge?
I feel like this is going to surprise people, because I think people, at least that know me purely for the channel, just see me as this kind of blob that sits around watching movies and making creepy comments. But in actual fact, well, I guess the comic book stereotype would come into that as well. But my only experience with Batman is legitimately the 3 movies with Christian Bale, and even then I've only watched them maybe twice each at maximum. Other than that, I can't think to where I've seen Batman before, except for predominantly playing the Lego games. That's probably where the majority of my Batman knowledge comes from, surprisingly enough. So, yeah, I guess I'm more of a Marvel person, so my Batman knowledge is nothing. And I don't dislike the character, but they're just kind of there for me.
So I guess for me, I literally just knew that Batman and Robin was a thing. Like, I've heard people say that...
They were definitely a thing.
No, just like that... I've just heard those two names together and I was like, oh, okay. So then when it started and there wasn't any Robin, I was like, oh, where's he gone? Because that's literally all I knew. I've seen the new Joker movie.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, I know absolutely nothing about Batman. So, like, when new characters kept coming in, because there was quite a lot of them, I was like, okay, JayBee, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Because I didn't have a clue. Smash, what about you coming into this? Where was your Batman knowledge?
You know, it's kind of sad because my oldest sister, like, loves Batman. I mean, she doesn't have, like, a bunch of Batman merch or whatever, but, like, it's her favorite superhero, and, like, she's watched a bunch of the movies and stuff. And I've just always grown up with her being a Batman fan. But going into this movie specifically, like, the only things I really have known of Batman personally and seen is the original 2 episodes of the new Scooby Doo movies when they met up with Batman and Robin, and then the Lego Batman movie. And that's, like, it. I don't know anything, and my thing is I'm not, it's not that I don't like superhero stuff, it's not my forte. Like, you know, I've almost watched all the Marvel movies, but, like, I oftentimes will watch them, you know, like months and months and sometimes years after they've been released, and the only reason I'm really watching, like, the Marvel movies right now is because my friend that I'm living with, she absolutely adores Marvel and watches every single one, you know, release day and stuff. And so she's like, we have to catch up and whatever. And so, you know, we've been slowly watching them together and whatever. But otherwise, DC, the only DC movie okay, there's two. The only two DC movies I've seen is the Green Lantern and Shazam. I've never once seen one Batman movie, TV show, anything. So I will say though, I was semi-familiar with like half of the other characters that came into this movie, that being heroes and some of the villains, but I didn't really know what they did or how anything connects or anything. So my knowledge of Batman is bare minimum. I did know that like he at times isn't with Robin, but again, I don't really know why or how or when. So yeah, my knowledge is Batman exists.
I guess spoiler alert for like Robin stuff, but I didn't know there's something to do with like Robin dying at some point. I think they're like beaten up with a baton or something, and I think they allude to that in the movie, which surprised me a bit, but I guess that's where they've come from. But actually, in fact, Robin, I would have had a lot of experience seeing because I used to watch Teen Titans a lot, but again, Robin's not here. Maybe they're doing Teen Titans, maybe it's a different continuity. I don't really know. That's fair to say.
Okay, so getting into the movie, we start kind of in the middle of a movie, right?
Yeah, there's like they're fighting these little puppets, these kind of Goosebumps style dolls, and Fred comes up with the marionette, which I actually really like that wordplay. That was amazing, but I was a bit disappointed knowing that these things were gonna go away, because I'm not traditionally scared of like dolls and toys and stuff, but I would say that these had the potential to be some of the creepiest things since potentially Camp Scare.
Yeah, I thought the villains in this movie are inherently more creepy than we've seen for a while.
Yeah.
Did you have any kind of opinions on the villains for this Smash?
So, okay. Thanks to Goosebumps, which, you know, a lot of people are probably like, hey, you're 24, you know, you should get over it. But like, I can't do dolls. I can't do dummies. Like they creep me out so bad. And it didn't help that I had I don't know if it's an aunt or a cousin. I don't know the relation. She's passed away now, but she used to get these like baby dolls and would fill in their heads with actual human hair, and she would like give some to my sisters and stuff, and you know, so we had them around the house, and I can't do dolls, I can't do anything. And so like, I don't know if you guys have seen the episode of Scooby Doo and Guess Who. They did one with a dummy recently, and although I will say I really enjoyed that episode, I probably paused that episode like 50 times because I was just like, I can't do it. You know, this is horror to me. This is pure horror. And so I will say that the beginning, you know, little dummies here, the puppets and whatever, in this, you know, at the beginning of this movie, really creepy. And although I don't know how I would do with a full movie of them, I really did enjoy their more you know, creepy atmosphere that they brought. And in a way I felt like once they were gone, the creepiness aspect of the movie kind of dropped a bit. But again, I don't know how I would do with a full movie of them.
Yeah.
Wait, like real human hair, like a voodoo doll?
JayBee. Yeah, like she would go to different like hair salons because, you know, people can donate hair for wigs and stuff, and she would get donations of hair and literally like sew in. They were plastic dolls, but sew in the hair into the head, and we still have some at my parents' house since she's passed away and whatever. But I just, every time I'm like that, like, I don't know. And I think if I was anyone else, I could see that as maybe kind of a cool concept. But to me, I'm like, that is disgusting. That is horror. That is nightmare fuel. Goodbye.
This is a really weird question, but have you ever, like, considered...
Oh, gosh.
No, wait, no, because you don't know what I'm gonna say. Hear me out. This hair could be valuable. Now, hear me out, right? If someone does this in a place like LA, and they get, like... Who's really big now? Like Robert Downey Jr.'s hair.
Tell JayBee one of them's Sarah Michelle Gellar, and he'll end up transferring you $300 just.
Well, no, but that's it, isn't it? Right? Like, it might not be, Marianne down the corridor. It could be like Tom Cruise, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, you could full on, like, because you can't tell who people are by the hair, can't you? So you could just take a sample and see if you've got valuable hair on your hands.
I mean, we could pluck one of the hairs out and like send it to some DNA place that'll, find out. And that's an interesting concept. I haven't thought of that just because of where I live. I'm like, oh, no one famous lives here. The most famous person I've known that's lived here is Robin Williams.
No, so you could have Robin. Oh my lord! And we could clone Robin Williams and bring them back. That would be amazing.
So are we doing Jurassic Park now?
We will do that. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we need to get those dolls. We could get Smash or Pass dolls made. We all donate some hair. And like have them round like a little dollhouse, which is like designed like the studio. No? And like there's little inserts where you can put little movie posters in so you can say what they're doing. And maybe if you squeeze one of our hands, there's like stock photos. Like stock phrases that we can say if you squeeze my arm.
Smash has already said he doesn't like dolls. You've like said that they're the equivalent of voodoo dolls. I'm not liking this idea at all.
We could sell it to children.
Hey, if we made dolls of ourselves, we just have to promise each other that, however the order that we die, that's sad to think of or even say, but we have to like destroy those dolls before we die, so nobody does things with those. Yeah,
like we're after JayBee's been like, oh yeah, like voodoo dolls. It's just weird.
That's a good point.
You killed the concept before you started.
Well, maybe they could be like Zombie Island ones though. So say if there's something from the top shelf that you can't reach, if you lift up the doll, you levitate.
I'd probably just hide yours to scare you.
What could that do?
I don't know, like you said they could work like voodoo dolls. It's just like, hey JayBee,
yeah, but if it's
your doll.
If it's me, all I'd need to do is put a 2002 movie on and it sits down next to me on the couch and we hold hands.
Right.
Yeah, and then you're engrossed in the movie and what you don't see is it slowly turns its head looking at you, plotting your death.
It wouldn't, if it used that against me though, that would be too much. That's
what if it's in your head, it knows.
What if once you're finished watching the movie, it like pulls the DVD out and as you're sleeping, just like stabs you with it?
I mean, that would be...
He's almost smiling at this.
That would be
like, oh, what a way to go. Sarah Michelle Gellar, yes.
Because my brain could play it, right? It could play it. It could be the last thing I see.
Oh my god.
And that to me would be no hardship. This is like a tangent. So yeah, Goosebumps is freaky. These villains are freaky.
Okay, Batman. I initially didn't like him. Like, I was getting... he starts off by being like, oh, leave it to the professionals. I was kind of getting vibes, like, from the Kiss movie, where they're like, oh, yay, we can do this, you can go away. Like, right from the start, I was like, oh, I'm gonna hate him.
Yeah, they did seem to come out with that level of arrogance, but at the same time...
And I also thought...
They were less arrogant than I was expecting.
On that level, that Daphne was going to be obsessed with him as well. That was my other prediction.
Well, there was a scene, but the thing is, I was expecting just Tony Stark if he was depressed, but we didn't really get that. So when he was coming at it with a bit of an arrogant approach, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But then he wasn't as arrogant, so I kind of found myself gravitating to them more. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is with that Tony Stark geezer, I think he can be arrogant at the start because of who they're played by, and it's played good. And obviously this person that plays Batman I think is amazing as well, but I think they play it well that it's almost traditional superheroes. So this could almost be, at least at the start, Blue Falcon in character. Yeah. So definitely something from this world.
Okay, I have like two thoughts. while we're in this topic. One I was gonna save till the end, but you guys kind of brought it up, so I'm just gonna kind of say it. Not necessarily just like what Batman does or how he acts, but just overall, I feel like this movie is similar to the newest one with Courage, where I felt like the Courage movie, it was a Courage movie with the Scooby gang in it, not Scooby with Courage in it. And this is how I feel with this, because there was a Batman the Brave and the Bold series. And so the whole point of this movie, because that series, I guess, got canceled or whatever, finished a little abruptly. And so this movie was basically an excuse to bring that series back one more time. And so I feel like this movie is a Batman movie with the Scooby gang in it, not the other way around. But also, I started watching a show with my mom years back. It's called American Housewife, and it's a comedy and it's really funny. But the dad in that show is actually the voice actor for Batman in this movie. And so, I actually was watching that series first, and then when I watched this movie, I was like, Batman sounds so familiar. Where have I heard him from? Then I went back to watching that show, and I was like, oh, he's Batman! It was funny.
That's quite interesting. We could interview Batman. We could try. But that's pretty cool, and I do like the voice, and I think I would like it. Like, is it the same voice actor that played Batman in the series there?
Yes.
It would assume so. Oh, so that was really good, because I did get the impression that it did care about Batman fans a lot, especially when it flashed back to the classic outfit. And again, like with Courage, I was definitely getting those vibes when they were heading towards Gotham, because obviously the Courage thing, it was the Scooby gang in a different place, and now this is the same thing. Although Gotham's pretty much just a bad city, right? I think.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that I'd written down before they actually go to Gotham is, they do that unmasking. I was a bit. I feel like the illusion of Scooby was ruined a little bit for me here. When Velma, I think it's Velma's like, oh, it's this person and this person. Like, she got it, and then was like, oh yeah, I have no idea why it's them.
Yeah,
almost
but...
like quite often it's just, a bit of luck. We'll just take the mask off and make a bit of a guess.
One thing that annoyed me about that more than anything, though, was the fact that you had this Martian Manhunter phasing in and out of things and doing stuff. So that's okay, but real ghosts are a no-no. That's what why?
True.
I don't get it. He's literally phasing through walls and stuff. There's a plastic man. Why can't we have real ghosts?
And then Batman's just like, oh, I do, it's just a test, it's fine. And then, like you're saying, they head into Gotham, which I think SMASH made a very valid point about. That it's almost like, because Scooby just has the name that it does, it's just like Scooby Doo and this person. Even if Scooby Doo's the feature, it still is going to be Scooby Doo and. Like you were saying, they go into nowhere, but it's still Scooby and Courage, not Courage and Scooby. And the same with Batman. They go into their universe, but it's still Scooby and Batman, not Batman and Scooby.
Scooby Doo meets Batman, straight out of Gotham. That would actually be a cool title.
No, I'm curious as to why they. Well, okay. Actually, it's probably for marketing. I was gonna say, I wondered why they called this movie the title of the series that it's based on, but I was like, honestly, it's probably just to get those people that were interested in the series to recognize the title and be like, oh, there's a new movie based on the series that I love. I'm gonna obviously pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd imagine so, especially if they got kind of all the voice talent to retweet stuff. And obviously, if you're a super fan of that, you're gonna see it and you're gonna go, oh my gosh, this is awesome. But we go on to an intro in a bit, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Fun little fact before we get there. I was just also going to point out that the guy who voices Batman in this movie voiced the actor who did the dark and gritty Blue Falcon in Mask of the Blue Falcon.
Ah. See, that's interesting. The kind of almost like the spoof one of this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's actually amazing. They should do that more often, you know. I need to. This is what I need to do. I spend so much time like writing out the main cast before doing these episodes, but I should really do more research on like the kind of crossover situation. But I think Millie always makes fun of me when I write down the main cast. It's just for my reference, though.
Do you need to write down who plays Fred? Is it not ingrained in your mind, or are you good?
It is ingrained in my mind, but I like having it there.
Do you think that it's still Freddie Prinze? Do you think he's stuck around after the live action?
Wait, just like hide in the Warner Brothers studio, just like giggling to himself, sneaking
You
into
need
the
to
studio.
write down Frank Welker every time.
Oh gosh! Right. Talk about the intro then, Millie.
Just before the intro, they get invited to join Batman's organization, and then that's
isn't the Justice League. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The titles.
The titles.
I think they were refreshing.
Yeah, they were
good.
alright.
They were alright.
It was good to see some of the classic Batman villains, which I did know, so I felt a bit more in the know, seeing like the Joker, Riddler.
They also do that iconic like circular light up to the sky thing, but with a cast name. So there's a few little like references that I understood.
And also like the What's New thing, where there's like running people on one line and then the running people on the opposite line. Like that was nice. The music was a bit like it fit the theme perfectly.
It just wasn't memorable.
But yeah, it's just generic superhero
I
score.
couldn't tell you what it is.
It's just like da 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 da, like kind of typical fitting thing. Like it'd be almost like a royalty-free song.
The most exciting thing I'll say with the intro was at the very, very beginning of it. They actually like did a shot-for-shot reanimation of the new Scooby Doo movies opening, kind of acknowledging that they had met Batman already back in the day. I just thought that was kind of a little funny Easter egg, if you know, Scooby.
I'm surprised I didn't catch that, you know, because, and in a way, they actually did include that episode as a bonus to this, didn't they?
I'll send you guys the shot of it.
Which I thought was particularly good, because they sell that separately. Like, I never knew where that was from as a kid. I just had that on tape, just that one episode. It's kind of cool that they did include that. But this is from 2018, so what series was running alongside this? Was it Be Cool or Guess Who?
Well, Be Cool had ended in... Be Cool was, like, finished. So right now we're in this weird... there's no series going on because Guess Who didn't start till 2019.
Oh. So, yeah. That
also,
surprises me a bit.
I will say this one was kind of an interesting release because, well, so this movie came out in January, if I remember correctly, or the very beginning of February. But a week before, I believe it was a week before. It's either a week before or a week after. Can't remember the exact order, but the DVD Be Cool Scooby Doo Season 1 Part 2 had just come out, and then this movie came out like a week after. Or it was the other way around. Either way, they don't usually do that, have like a series release of DVD and then a movie, because, you know, they try to highlight the movies separately and stuff. And so this was a really weird kind of release because back in the day I was babysitting this. That makes me sound old. Oh gosh. I was babysitting this kid. And I remember I ran to the store before I went to go babysit, like early in the morning, to go get the Be Cool DVD set. And that one I could not find anywhere, and I only found it at one store and had to pay extra for it because it was a premium store. And I was like, whatever, it's the only place I can find it. But then I also remember doing the exact same thing a week later, going to find this movie, though I found it, you know, just at like Walmart generically and whatever. But I just thought it was kind of funny because it was like 1 week apart. I was doing the exact same thing, and then I took it with me babysitting and had it playing while I was watching the kids. So this movie I actually watched with a kid for the first time.
I mean, there's nothing like the smile of a child to brighten up a day. That's my motto.
Exactly.
But
So I feel like
what's a
after
premium store then?
So I'm calling it a premium store just because they always bump the prices up of all their movies because it's a store called Barnes and Noble and it's technically a bookstore.
Oh,
They sell vinyl records, they sell toys, but they also sell movies, and for whatever reason they think they're so fancy and can hike up the price of DVDs, but it was the only store in my town at the time that had gotten the Be Cool DVD set in stock, and so I was like, well, and it was the only one. There was only one copy, and so I was like, well, this is mine. Nobody else gets this, so I will pay the extra bucks for it.
I do like Barnes and Noble, you know. Like every time I've been to America, which isn't a lot of times, I always try and find a Barnes and Noble. Oh my god, it's like the Waterstones of
Is
America.
that where you got me the book from when you went to Canada?
No, that was Canada's equivalent of Barnes and Noble and Waterstones, which I think is called Indigo.
Okay.
But oh man, so I see. I sound weird though because can we? Let's go to America, right? Can we do it?
Ideally, yeah.
We'll hit up every Barnes and Noble in the States.
Tour them all.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so after the titles, I feel like they jump in quite hard and fast with the Batman theme.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're in Gotham. There's all these Batman characters. And I feel like this is how JayBee must have felt watching the first wrestling movie. There's a lot of characters been thrown at you and you don't have a clue who they are. Almost like it's taken for granted that you're going to be in that universe. Like, I don't know if I'm about to sound really stupid or if anyone else is in the same position, but they were like, oh yeah, this is Riddler, this is, who else was there? There was Riddler, this is Catwoman, this is, and I was like, okay, it's great that that's who they are, but I don't know if these are meant to be a hero, if they're meant to be a villain, if they're meant to be, I think they were fighting a few of them, so obviously then it's like, oh yeah, they're villains, but there were just so many people. And it was like, I'm meant to already know about these. I don't know about these.
I mean, I was following Riddler a bit ages and ages ago because I heard, and I don't know if this was like fake fan art, that they were planning on making a Riddler movie with David Tennant. But I don't know if that ever happened, or if that was just a myth. But yeah, again, I know Riddler primarily from the Lego games, and I know that I had to play as Batman and I got to punch Riddler around a few times. So I'm, villain. But I don't know too much about Riddler. I just know that they're a bit of a spooky dude, a bit of a crazy person. I think that's fair to say. But beyond that, I really don't know. And then
it's also weird how they like have to enter Batman's like lair or whatever. You know what I mean? Where Daphne's like, oh, everyone's like, oh, there's no handles to these doors, and Daphne's like, oh, we can do it. And then there's that weird little scene where they're almost driving through all these different panels.
Well, the thing is with the start, at least, like you mentioned, it's like the wrestling one. I very much got that vibe as well, except I appreciated that for Riddler, they gave us the most over-the-top comic book costume, which was, I think, the green suit, the green hat, and the purple question marks.
Yeah, but still then you have to know the comic books to be able to
I think
associate.
it is an image that sticks in your mind, as opposed to if they tried to make it dark and gritty and it was just a person in a suit and maybe they've got a purple tie with a question mark on it. I like how they gave them that vibrant look, but then I feel like and I don't know if this was Catwoman, but there was this person with a cat-like costume on, with a whip, and like cat is, and I feel like it is Catwoman, but then if they're trying to like get people to recognize them, I feel like nobody that doesn't really know the series or doesn't really know stuff, they would never identify that as Catwoman. And I don't know if it's like maybe the latex suit wasn't child friendly or whatever, but like to me, they kind of gave us a good thing with the Riddler and then gave a bit of an unrecognizable Catwoman. So It was a bit inconsistent. Again, maybe if I knew more about this Brave and the Bold series, this is that looks from that show, which I suspect it probably is, but I guess for the movie I was just like, who is that?
How did you feel about like the entrance to Gotham and the villains and everything, Smash?
Again, like I said, I feel like this is a Brave and the Bold movie with Scooby Doo in it, and it's just like I'm supposed to know where that series left off, and it's just throwing you into it. Like, we had to take some time to build this story with these other characters and Aquaman and the No-Face dude and everything. Before the gang even showed up, I thought they would have just rode along straight with Batman into Gotham and everything. But again, it's like I'm supposed to know exactly what happened in that last episode of The Brave and the Bold and how it ended. And here we pick up. Here's where we left off. And I'm like, what is going on? I felt like it was so fast paced. Because again, I felt like they were trying to like shove a bunch of information in at once. And yet, even by the time the gang got there, I was just like, so what exactly am I supposed to follow? Because, like, I mean, this is a little later into the movie. We haven't quite got there yet, but there's one point where I feel like they start one, like, mystery, and then they're like, oh, forget it. This one's more important. And then that one mystery that we started to do was just nothing, ever.
Yeah, it seems like they are, like you say, trying to do a Batman movie, but then they're almost like backtracking to give something for Scooby to do, or like subplots. I don't know, there are scenes that are like...
There's certain things that I'm just like, oh yeah, that would have been referenced in a series. Like, when they enter the kind of office space and it's like, here's the filing cabinet, this is all the unsolved cases. I feel like that would have maybe been a big part of the series. To have this case file that they keep referring back to. And it sets up that there's only one Batman hasn't solved, so it's like, okay, well that's going to be the premise of this movie, then they're going to solve it.
What's everyone's opinion on Aquaman? Because when I first saw the character and heard what they were saying and how they were delivering the lines, I get the impression that this is a character that you either really love or really hate.
I might be an idiot here, but when I saw them the first time, they were like in green and yellow, and I was like, oh, it's Robin. And it wasn't. So that was my opinion on Aquaman, is it's not Robin. It didn't get beyond that point.
You didn't think it was Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy?
No. Smash, what about you? What's your opinion?
Okay, my opinion is that, at least in this universe of Batman, he is the Chad of the group, that he thinks he's so good and should be a part of everything and whatever. But then in reality, once they're like, fine, you can help, it's like everything goes to shambles as soon as he even, does 1 ounce of water with, I don't know. He's the Chad of this DC group.
Yeah, I actually grew to really like Aquaman, I thought he was a bit like, it's again a Marvel series, what if, but he reminded me a bit of Party Thor, because he was a bit of a doofus, but he was also meant to be this kind of big hunky guy. And I think the perfect word to describe them, I think it's like a new generational word, but it's like a himbo, if you know what that is. Like, and I really like them. I would watch a series just based on this Aquaman, because I think it'd be really funny. And I think they're one of the only characters, apart from maybe Batman themselves, that get a story arc in this, funnily enough, like a definitive start and end point, you know what I mean? Like, they start as a wannabe detective, they feel a bit left out, and then it kind of ends with them solving something. So I guess they're a decent person to follow, but I think they disappear for like half the movie at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're about at the stage where the kind of mystery's beginning. They've instead of choosing one from the cabinet, like one naturally just kind of arises for them. They go off to a warehouse, and this is where they get that mention that JayBee was talking about earlier, where it says lose another Robin. So it kind of hints back to, again,
Oh.
something that was a different storyline that we've not been a part of.
I imagine though with this show, then again, I'm saying it's probably a storyline where they became Nightwing and just did their own thing. But I always feel like the shows that are cancelled too soon that people really like are ones that do go a bit darker. Like, I guess off the top of my mind, thinking about Spectacular Spider-Man, people really like that, and it was cancelled. I guess Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes was a bit darker, cancelled. So maybe they did do the Robin thing.
Maybe.
But, yeah.
I've put as well here that we meet the creepy red villain. What's your thoughts on this villain, Smash?
Yeah, what is this name? I'm trying to remember it.
I just called them the Red Phantom Shadow.
I think it was like the something cloak.
It's literally like the red cloak or something.
We do. I'm looking it up really quick because now it's
Scarlet
gonna bug
Letter.
me. Let's go. Crimson Cloak. That's
Crimson
right.
Cloak.
Okay. So I really liked his design, and honestly, he was kind of creepy. You know, like I don't believe did he have a voice. I only remember the weird Batman thing. But you know, in general, I feel like he was a really creepy villain. But his like creepiness factor, they didn't like. It was like after he was shown once, they didn't really utilize his creepiness after that.
It was like first impressions were.
I just feel like they kind of used his little like morphing thing a little too comically, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I think that for me, a thing with like Scooby quite frequently is when you just see them come out of the shadows for the first time, it's like, and then within a few seconds it's kind of like, okay, that's not that bad. Like, okay, so the example I'm always going to go back to with this is the Alien Invaders movie. I always get this wrong. Is it Invaders or Invasion, JayBee, please?
Invaders. Yeah.
So when you first see the two aliens, there's this like shadow.
But you know they're here from outer space.
And then as soon as they come out, and when they're in this shadow, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. This is going to be really creepy aliens. And then they step out of the shadow and it's like, okay, maybe not. And I kind of think that with this, that like you see this like shadow cloaked figure and you'd be like, oh, okay.
Wait, did you pass on the Alien Invaders?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you're a villain, you are. Are you going to amend that 25 episodes later?
I don't know if I passed it. I do think I passed. Because I just thought the aliens were really goofy. I didn't think it was scary at all.
I think you're really goofy.
If it wasn't for Lester, that movie's lost a lot of redemption.
Oh, they need to bring Lester up. Hashtag restore the Lesterverse. That's what they need to do.
We need to start a trend on Twitter.
So this introduction scene where the Crimson Cloak person is seen for the first time, I feel like it furthers the fact that it's just a Batman movie, because doesn't Batman end up sending Mystery Inc. away? Yeah. Like at the end of this scene, it's like, oh, you just go. I'll deal with it from here. It's like, it's Scooby Doo and Batman, but okay, they can go fine.
Is this before or after their team gets introduced? Because for some reason I've not written anything about this Crimson Dynamo yet.
I don't know.
Love
what
your
names.
names.
Say, JayBee.
Because I wanted to talk about this team for a little bit.
Okay, talk about your team.
Well, I don't really like them all. Well, I like Aquaman, but we've got we've got Black Canary, who I know from the CW Arrow show, but I don't quite know what their role is. They scream, I guess. There's Plastic Man, who's a bendy fella. They're like Elastigirl, but not as cool. But then I'm wondering, why did they not just make this the Justice League? Because they kind of fit into like spaces, right? So Plastic Man could have been Cyborg, because obviously robots can like morph, or Green Lantern, because the ring can create different things in different shapes. And obviously, you know what, maybe this is just casual sexism on my part, but I guess I can see Canary being replaced with Wonder Woman. Not that their powers are the same, but I don't know, maybe that's just casual sexism. So maybe Canary can stay and I should be disgraced. And the No-Face dude, they can just be replaced with Flash, but then maybe the reveal wouldn't work. And even Martian Manhunter could be Superman, and I'm just like, surely it would benefit them to give us more recognizable heroes, but I don't know. But I did appreciate that Plastic Man wanted to team up with Daphne, because I could relate to Plastic Man there, because they're a man of substance.
Oh.
I think that you're at this scene. Oh no, you're right. Warehouse, they split up in there, yeah.
But yeah, that's just my thing. And Fred starts simping for Black Canary, who's white, and that's all I've got to know.
Okay.
Why is Black Canary white though? Why are they a Black Canary?
I don't know. So the bit we got up to next is that Batman had kind of told Mystery Inc. to leave.
Yeah, and Commissioner Gordon gets a little mention, which is cool.
Yeah, isn't that when they get back to the Mystery Machine and they're like getting arrested or something?
No, well, it's before they go to the malt shop where Batman sends them, and that's where this detective geezer shows up, who I got really excited about because I thought I cracked the case, because they show up and it's like, my name's Detective Harvey or something. And then I got thinking about those Christian Bale movies, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Harvey Dent, the villain's Two-Face, I've solved it. But I didn't, and I'm a failure.
You just outsmarted them.
Well,
Quite often you do come up with some good plot lines that are kind of above and beyond.
Well, I just thought the thing with Gotham City is that there's always some kind of bigwig kingpin that pays off corrupt officials, so like you could get the police in on it, the government in on it, like judges. But
for me, this like guy trying to arrest Mystery Inc. kind of gets a bit repetitive and annoying.
Yeah, I mean, they're no Sheriff Bronson star.
Like, there's this scene, then there's the scene where they're like have broken into the Mystery Machine. I'm like, just go away. Not you again. Stop.
But what are they getting arrested for? Just hanging about?
Yeah, for being part of Batman's gang, and then they think that gang means like gang, not gang, and yeah.
So you think
There's a whole
just
joke
shagging people?
No, there is like a scene where where Shaggy's like, oh, gang, not gang, but like gang name, but not gang name, because it's not a gang. But we sometimes call ourselves the gang. So yeah, I think that's literally it, just that they're a gang. They do a flashback scene to the first Batman case. Did you enjoy the flashback?
I love that, because I at least recognised the outfit from somewhere, and so I could have made the assumption that they gave the fans what they wanted, in that they either showed us an earlier version of the Brave and the Bold suit, or an earlier cartoon, which I think, if I was a Batman fan watching it, I could only imagine it would be like, oh my gosh, they did it, they referenced it. But me personally, I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Good for that.
Okay. Smash, did you enjoy the flashback scene?
It was fine. I really didn't have any like connection with it. I was just like, okay, this flashback is just quote unquote needed for context and everything. So I was just like, I don't know, I was like, whatever, that's good for you, Batman.
It is what it is.
Speaking of plot, sorry, this is really random. I've been like doing weird research while we've been talking, but in this universe, Robin was in the series, but he eventually left Batman to become Nightwing.
Ah. So did they have a spin-off then, or are they just in the void somewhere?
Apparently, he's just somewhere out there right now.
Here's an interesting tangent. So, I was reminiscing the other day about Teen Titans, and it dawned upon me that I had quite a significant attachment, shall we say, to Starfire in that show. And it then occurred, someone pointed out that obviously my two childhood cartoon crushes were red-headed women
Wearing purple.
wear purple. And that's either a coincidence or I've got a thing. And I don't know. It was a weird side tangent about the Teen Titans, but I'd never thought of it like that. And then it made me reconsider things. But then I remembered how I felt about Dusty Tails from Looney Tunes Back in Action, and I'm like, okay, they're blonde, and they don't wear purple. So I didn't go down that path, so I'm good. I'm glad. What about you, Millie? Do you have any red-headed purple?
No. I'm good.
I'm proud of you.
Other that you then drew the parallel that when you first met me I had red hair.
Oh, imagine if you were wearing... do you know if you were wearing purple?
No, it was pink and black.
Yeah, pink's kind of like purple. I think purple's kind of less cool cousin, right?
Great.
Wait, you were wearing pink?
It was...
No way were you wearing pink. No, you don't wear pink.
It was that black and pink shirt dress thing.
Oh,
with the black
but if you add black, if you combine black to pink lightly, it gives you darker pink now, which is purple.
Oh my god!
So the plot thickens.
The plot is thickened.
Let's do this. Let's
so
just do it. Our kids could like purple women.
And there's that thing where there's another kind of continuous thing throughout this, where Daphne's talking about letters and rearranging letters. And all that kind of thing, and she works out the villain's ending to follow. Yeah. And so from there they go looking for clues.
Looking for clues.
And when they found that footprint, JayBee was like, "It's Clayman." And I don't have a clue who Clayman is, but I was like, okay, then let's write it down. It's Clayman.
They were such a cool villain in the Lego Batman game. Like, they could morph into things. They were like a massive Sandman type creature. But when you unlocked them as a playable character, all you could do was make his fist really big and smash into things. So we were kind of robbed. But I thought it would have been them, because it wasn't like mud, was it? It was like full on, like, moulded. It was just there.
I mean, there's a scene a little bit further on where they're literally just firing clay at the floor.
Yeah.
But is it literally like... If you know Batman enough, you don't even need to follow along with the mystery. You're just thinking, who does this line up with?
Yeah.
So say if they were leaving clowns everywhere, you're like, oh, it's Joker. Or I don't know many other, but or if things were getting really cold, it would be Mr. Freezy.
True.
Okay, so I think we're now at the part where the mystery machine gets broken into, because that guy's looking around again, but I think Mystery Inc. kind of escaped the scenario. And there's a bit of a chase scene where we see some adaptation of the Batmobile. So Scooby's doing some like little driving sequence, driving up walls and things, which I feel like sometimes when I watch this I try to ignore logic. Because I feel like my inner Velma wants to be like, okay, so here's why this doesn't work.
Why didn't you dispute the Manhunter though? Oh, actually, that's what I respect about this, to be honest. I respect that Velma wasn't spending the whole movie trying to rationalise their superpowers. Because I feel like, and again, I'm saying if they did this now, it would have, but we're getting to the stage where this kind of is the last couple of years, so it is very recent. And so I'm happy that you've not got Velma going like, elongated man, surely this is a projector or something. Like, I'm really happy that they didn't spend the movie just her magnifying glassing all of the superheroes trying to find out what the rational explanation is.
Okay, so my next
big up Velma there, you're an OG.
My little next kind of fault.
Oh god.
Is that like Mystery Inc. have to hide out as well now. And I feel like the movie's already not been about them enough. So to then be like, okay, they need to go into hiding as well as Batman sending them away when they're investigating and other stuff. Just like, oh, I'm tired now.
Let's just kind of get them out of the way so the plot can progress. Something I'm really disappointed about as well is that everything that happens with Scooby, they always try and find a cool way to integrate the Mystery Machine. And I'm disappointed we didn't get a Mystery Machine coated Batmobile. Like, I think that would have been amazing, because we had a Mystery Machine monster truck, a Lego Mystery Machine plane. installed in the Scooby Doo Mystery Machine wagon, and it's like it would have been so cool to see a Mystery Machine Batmobile. Like if like the Batmobile got destroyed and the Mystery Machine got destroyed at the same time, and they had to kind of like use parts from the Mystery Machine to make a new Batmobile. I think that'd be really cool.
So JB, did you enjoy the hiding out sequence? Isn't it kind of like a prison where they've got like, there's that guy in the black and white striped outfit and...
Are they at Arkham Asylum at this point?
Think so.
I thought it was cool, like the scene in itself, but I thought Arkham Asylum kind of looked a bit trash. Like, I'm thinking about the Lego games again, where it is literally like a sewer system with like almost caged vaults with these villains in, or even the kind of grittier feel of the Joker, where it is this, you know, kind of institute. Whereas here, it's literally like, if it was in live action, you could have almost taken a school at night and just had faces pressed up between like the rooms, like there's like some guy in a maths room going, "Oh, I'm trapped in here," you know, these guys. It was literally just like they're in an office corridor with people in rooms, and I didn't like it. It to me wasn't Arkham Asylum, it was an abandoned office, and these idiots have locked themselves in their offices. Like
yeah, just kind of like, oh, the door's locked from the outside.
It just looked like a dull Arkham Asylum, to be honest. But I like where Shaggy and Scooby go. It's just this main kind of area, and I suspect that they just did it to make the releasing of the villains a bit easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the sequence, like the dialogue. I just don't like how they designed Arkham.
So then there's also that firing clear scene that we mentioned where, like, again, it kind of makes it clear, if you know Batman, which I didn't, who the villain is. JayBee was, of course, on top of it. There's one scene, the scene that I'm thinking of, they're almost in, like, a control room. It's kind of all grey, and there's just mud, like, been splattered on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because it's, yeah, I agree. Because I knew this Clay geezer.
I feel like I'm skipping over the plot maybe quite quickly.
Have you got to the part where Shaggy and Scooby are interrupted by Harley Quinn?
No, I'll let you.
Because I think I recognise that they used Harley Quinn's like voice actor for these sequences. In fact, I think it's Tara Strong, if I'm not mistaken. But I think they definitely did get them back. And also Poison Ivy. Which again, going back to the thing, I think they made Poison Ivy quite hot in this sequence. But then again, she's got red hair, so I don't know if this is like my childhood trauma coming back to me.
Okay, so giving you your opportunity to say your bit, JayBee. How did you feel about the gang's outfits in the ends kind of sequence?
Well, see, I feel like an idiot here. I admit I feel like an absolute yo-ho.
Okay.
Because, when it showed the old sequences, instantly I'm flashing back to like Into the Spider-Verse, where it's pretty much just a cool way to say, here's all the references from past things that you like, enjoy them. So when I first saw it, I thought it was fan service. And even down to that dog costume being shown, I was like, oh, I guess like Batman had a dog in the comics and that Batman fans are really gonna like it. But then I saw obviously, you know, Batwoman or Batgirl, and I was like, oh, I hope we can see Daphne dress up as Batgirl, that would be amazing. But I didn't think it was going to happen. But then when like they look over to the suits in a later scene, I'm like, I am such an idiot. How did I think that they were going to have a bat dog costume and not find a way to stick Scooby in it? And I just feel like an idiot, because it was so obvious that it was going to happen. But I just wasn't convinced until they did. But oh my god, I need more of Batgirl Daphne in my life. In fact, this is another Funko Pop that I want, and they would do it, you know. Like they've got Freddy Funkos, not Fred Jones, but you know, there's different variants like Fred Funko as Batman, Fred Funko as Joker. If we could have Daphne Blake as X, that would be amazing. Because I would collect a Daphne Blake Batwoman. I want it in live action as well, because it would be like spandex or something. Like they could, let's just make this. Let's have Batwoman, Bat Daphne. Let's have Bat Daphne supremacy. We can market it, right? Warner Brothers like the spin-offs, you know, they're trying to do some stuff with the Flashpoint movie and, you know what I mean, the DCEU. So scrap the Flash, scrap the Arrow. I think the Arrow's already over, and let's have a Bat Daphne series, okay? Let's just do it at this point, because they've got the rights to Scooby, they've got the rights to Batman, and in fact, James Gunn is heavily involved in all that now, so they should bring Sarah Michelle Gellar back as Bat Daphne, and that's what they're gonna do. Get James Gunn to do it like he did the Suicide Squad, and we're away. We could have the we could have the DBCU, the Daphne Blake Cinematic Universe, and at the post-credit scene every time will be like, we need you for the Daphne Blake initiative.
It's nearly 3 a.m.
No, but that's what we could do, and I'm saying we should get the Daphne Blake Cinematic Universe. Would you do it? And it will end in like a multiverse experiment, and you can get all the Daphnes to team up to defeat misogynistic men and the patriarchy. Or if you want to make it classic, we could have variants of that wrestler from the 2002 movie, and it will end with them all saying in unison, "Who's the damsel in distress now?" And they're like, "Not me," and then they beat him up, they kill him, and oh my god, yes, we need it. $1 billion opening weekend. $1 billion opening
when she
weekend.
defeats that dude, whoever she's fighting during that time, and pushes him down that hole in the ground, it opens a portal to a multiverse where the next Daphne comes out.
We could have multiple Daphnes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how many Daphnes could we need? Well, not enough. We need a load of Daphnes. Into the Daphneverse. That's Natty's trilogy. It would be a magnum opus.
How
That's
many
what a
Daphnes are there technically? Because we have the original Daphne. Then we have, I'd say, the ones from the Zombie Island to Cyber Chase is a different Daphne. We have a pup Daphne.
2 Daphnes in the original series, right? There's the original one that I just can't remember, shamefully enough, and then there's Heaven North.
True. Oh, that's true. Okay, so add another one. We have the What's New one. We have Be Cool. We have Mr. Incorporated. We have Get a Clue. We have the direct-to-video movies. We have the live action. Well, 3 live action ones. We're at 12 Daphnes at the moment.
Amanda Seyfried.
Scoob. There's technically 2 in Scoob, 13? The young one and the old one.
Oh yeah, McKenna Grace, Amanda Seyfried. Puppet Daphne.
15?
Lego Daphne.
Oh, Lego
16?
Daphne. I can't believe I forgot about Funko Daphne. Playmobil Daphne.
15.
Oh my gosh. Can we just get this done? Then again, I think that would make Warner Brothers too much money. And I know people hate me for this, but a part of me does want Disney to buy stuff so I can see Scooby team up with Iron Man or something. Because I want to know, I want to see things that I know. I'm a simple guy.
Okay, so what's your opinion on the unmasking, JayBee?
What unmasking? Oh,
End of the movie.
Who is it?
Big reveal. It was Clayface. He couldn't do it on his own. There was it
right,
Riddler?
no, actually, I'll save that debate for the post-credit scene, but I'm not happy about that. Fudge. I think, look at that. You've skipped over loads of it.
That says Daphne Batgirl. We've gone over that.
Yeah, but I've put like 10 explanations.
You've literally just put simpler underneath that. That's embarrassing.
And please make this a Funko.
Oh my god.
I'll release these actually. I'll release some funny notes that I've made at the end when we finish Smash or Pass, which is very soon.
Geller could get a restraining order if you release them. I hope you're
But this isn't Geller. DeLisle could get, or Griffin could get a restraining order. But I don't want her to though.
Unmasking, JayBee.
It's alright. It's alright. I don't really remember it. All I remember, I remember the head getting ripped off and it being revealed to be. What actually isn't even revealed to be Clayface.
No, but they say it's Clayface.
Doesn't come to human form.
Batman says that and then Batman's like, "Oh well, you need your unmasking, so it's also Riddler." And then they get the unmasking, and then they're like, "Oh, but the real unmasking, yeah." And then they're like, "Oh, but the real unmasking would be to find out who Batman is, and Batman is a really nice guy." The end.
Who is Batman anyway, though? Is he that Wayne geezer?
Smash, what did you think to the unmasking?
Okay, so before I talk about the unmasking, this is like forever past now. You guys were talking about a Mystery Machine Batmobile. To coincide with the movie's release, they actually made a Hot Wheels Mystery Machine Batmobile. I sent you guys a picture of it.
Oh, no.
You can
Oh, no.
JayBee can add it to his
Ooh.
collection.
No. No.
Hello.
No.
To be fair,
No.
Daddy like you, but at the same time, we've just created our Scooby shelves, and I must have bankrupt myself 10 times over. So
Are you kidding me?
What do you mean? Am I kidding you? What?
All that shelf was like what I got you for Christmas.
Right, if you want to know what Millie's talking about, please follow our Instagram in the description. But what do you mean it was you? It wasn't you. Yeah, that... What? Don't look at me like that. It's not like that.
I
though.
am appalled, JayBee.
Okay, no, okay, fine. But it's a collaborative effort, right? We're a team. And as long as you're having fun, it doesn't really matter who's spending, right? Yeah? Yeah, you know what I mean? We have fun with it.
Can't believe you.
We love
Okay.
to see it. Love to see it.
Sorry, Smash was saying.
Alright,
Hot
unmasking.
Wheels and unmasking.
Oh,
I remember this unmasking being like a very kind of over the top and dramatic and epic and everything, but again, and kind of like with the Courage movie, this was like an ending to The Brave and the Bold, you know? Like, I seriously feel like the Scooby Gang just kind of sat there and were like, go Batman, you got this, woo! And so, you know, and like, their outfits, although they were fun, like, that's cool to kind of see them in DC-esque outfits. I feel like that honestly was like a weird afterthought. They were like, oh yeah, the Scooby Gang's in this.
Yeah.
Give them some costumes and they can look the part. You know? So, just was... this was a superhero movie to me, not a Scooby Doo movie.
I agree with a lot of. So it's time for verdicts, I think, JayBee. So, does anyone else have anything to add before we go to Smash or Pass?
not really, apart from the fact that I love that they included some very relevant episodes as the bonus features.
Okay.
That's all I've got to say.
Okay, so JayBee, we're starting with you. The Brave and the Bold, Smash or Pass?
Can I go last?
Yeah? No, you can't, sorry.
What do you mean, no, I can't?
Because it's called
I don't
Smash
know
or
what to
Pass, not
say.
JayBee or Pass. Smash goes last.
Yeah, but it could be JayBee or Pass.
It's not.
Okay, so...
Don't mess with the format.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I would have no reservations passing this and not feeling too guilty about myself. I don't know if it was delirium, and I don't know if it was just that it was like 6 a.m. But a part of me would feel terrible to pass this after just smashing the second Lego Beach movie. So I'm struggling from that
The
point of view.
second right, I'm sorry to interrupt your ratings and stuff. The second Lego Beach movie, it was at least fun.
So that's the thing though. I had fun with this. There was nothing that made me bored. I was intrigued with the characters. I was enjoying Aquaman when they were on the screen. It was just the middle part, you know. I think it started strong. I was kind of engaging with who was who. And I think it ended strong with everyone in their outfits and the reveal and a bit of action. But I think it's that middle portion for me where they are just doing Batman things and pushing the Scooby people to the side. And I guess as they could do, because obviously Scooby is always going to have like 2 movies a year. And this Batman was like, I guess, returning for a lot of people. But I think again, it's going to be an instance where I'm gonna smash it. Because I definitely would watch it again. I wasn't bored, but it's again the lower end of Smash for me. But I feel like if I was a Batman person, it may be up there. But unfortunately, I'm not. So Millie, and obviously Bat Daphne is the best. Millie, would you smash or pass Scooby Doo meets Batman straight out of Crompton.
This is the least I've enjoyed any Scooby movie we've reviewed this far.
Oh my god.
I'd rather go
Wait.
back and watch the puppet one
Mystery Man.
than watch this again.
Are you serious? I was not expecting
you.
that. I was not expecting that.
I genuinely think that if you, for me personally, because I've got no interest in Batman, it was like chill out Scooby Doo. There was just too many characters and I didn't give a single care for any one of them.
Two diddly squats
I had
about them.
no investment in any of it other than when it was going to end.
Do you know what
I will never ever watch this again.
Will you watch Robert
For
Pattinson Batman?
No, yeah. For me, for me, this was like as bad as The Reunion, and I had to tone down what I thought of that. I genuinely didn't enjoy a single second of this movie.
I feel like I've been slapped in
like
the face. We're having like a constructive conversation.
worst.
And then you just come
It
out with
is
flames.
honestly like the hardest like pass on any one of these movies. And honestly, after watching this, I if like JayBee said to me at the end of this, do you want to watch Mystery Map? I'll say yes, because this was honestly, I honestly thought this was complete garbage. I don't know why. Smash or pass.
Oh boy.
Why do you do this? You know, there was no indication of that. I was caught with my pants there. I hate my life.
So, this movie, I will admit, I kind of overhyped myself originally when I heard this one was going to come out because I was like, oh, finally, they're going to be back with Batman. They hadn't been with Batman since the new movies, besides that weird Batmite Presents thing. And anyway, so I was like, yay, you know, and I was like really excited for them to maybe also be like, Batman, we've teamed up with you before, you know, like all the references and stuff, but none of that happened because it's The Brave and the Bold, because they said, we want to make a Brave and the Bold movie. Well, we can't. That series is over. Pull in Scooby Doo, then we can. And then Scooby's just there, and they have no idea what's going on, but they're just running for their lives, and Scooby's just like, I love you, Batman. Thanks for letting me join your movie. Get me some more money. So, I just, you know, if this was purely a Batman movie, I think it'd be enjoyable. I really do. But just the fact that they threw in Scooby Doo because they're like, Scooby Doo brings in the money when we kill off stuff or don't care about stuff for too long. Like how they're probably going to do the same thing with Crypto, because they're like, hey, let's make a Super Dogs movie. Hey, nobody cares about that. Just make a Scooby Doo movie before it comes out, and then they'll care about our movie. Anyway, tangent that had no meaning. I gotta pass this one. I just, it's fun, but it is one I just never go back to. And it's like, maybe if I was more into DC and superheroes, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is such a fun movie. But just the fact that I went into it for Scooby Doo, it just isn't for me. The end.
Hey, so JayBee, you've been outnumbered.
Yeah, I feel very outnumbered. However, I will
Okay, I've
stick
got
by
one
Bat
question.
Daphne supremacy.
I've got one question for you, JayBee.
For me.
You didn't want to give your rating first.
Oh god.
If you'd have heard what me and Smash said first, does it change your rating?
That's a very difficult question to answer, because I feel like where I'm standing or where I'm sitting at now, no, but I'll say I've grown as the series has gone on, and if it was an earlier movie, 100% I would have just gone along with the vibe of the episode, which to this day, again, for some reason I actually do like the Monster of Mexico, and I did feel very much like I bullied myself into passing it, but I would smash Monster of Mexico, and I don't know why, I enjoy it. So I think not. I think I do very much just say what I mean more now, and again, you know what I mean. Like it's about Daphne. It's kind of fun escapades that I can just watch blankly, even if I was wishing that it was Spider-Man in replacement to these characters that I'm not too familiar with. But you know what I mean. Sometimes you just have to close your eyes and pretend it's someone else.
Spider-Man into the Scooby-verse.
It's good. It's all good stuff though. Like I would watch this again. You know what I mean? Like if we ended this,
I wouldn't.
And said, "Do you want to watch it again to like finish off your note?" To say if I'd missed out a page, then I'd say yes. But maybe after that one, I'd be sick of it.
I can like promise now on video that's going to be permanent on our channel. I will never ever watch this movie again.
Not even if
Ever.
I really wanted you to.
No.
What if it was our wedding day?
No. If you think I'm watching this on my wedding day, you're deranged.
You should play it at your wedding.
We'll definitely play it 2002 at the wedding. That's not even a thing. In fact, we'll probably get married on Spooky
I don't have
Island.
a clue who
You know?
you think you're getting
You
married
should-
to, but I'm far.
Well, actually, I don't know if this is
You
rumbling people's peepees, but if we go, all of us, to Spooky Island, that's probably where I'm gonna propose. You know.
You proposed 3 years ago.
No, but properly. You know what I mean? Properly. Like, grand proposal. I'm probably gonna propose at Spooky Island. Legit.
You're gonna be married by then.
No, I actually think we're either gonna... I'm gonna propose at Spooky Island, get married at Spooky Island, or somewhat honeymoon at Spooky Island. Or we'll get
I think
divorced
I
at
need to
Spooky
find
Island.
someone who's not a Sarah Michelle Gellar simp, to be fair.
Would you not get, like, honeymooned at Spooky Island?
No.
It's warm. There's a beach.
No.
There's a pool.
No.
There's a beach.
You said that the first time.
That's like standard honeymoon location. If it's got a beach.
Isn't it like Australia with like snakes and spiders?
Yeah, but
No.
you're,
Oh, man.
you're neglecting the point. I'm Indian. If a snake tries to attack us, I can charm it.
You're from South America. That isn't India. You're
Oh yeah, I'm from
Seriously.
America. So Smash, do you want to go down the Walmarts, bruv? Wait, bruv's English, isn't it? What does...
South America and North America, JayBee.
No, it's India. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get it.
Going
do you?
to
You don't
Walmart.
get it.
I went to
right.
Walmart yesterday.
Oh,
No,
I'd
not
love to
yesterday,
go
the
to
day before.
Walmart. We should all go one day. We should do vlog in Walmart.
Okay.
Vlog in Walmart.
The last episode, we skipped out community news because we'd just done the Marty Grabstein interview.
Yeah,
It
go watch that. If you've not heard it, go watch it. There's a version that you can watch all of our lovely faces, and at some point I'm gonna put up an audio version that'll be a little bit more edited, because obviously I don't want to edit that one too much, because then we're just gonna be like having seizures on the screen.
So, yeah, it was like 5 a.m. as well, so we skipped out that. So, 2 weeks of community news. JayBee.
I think we spoke about the Scoob thing, didn't we? The holiday bash or the holiday horn. We spoke about that a while ago. What's happened now? Do you know anything?
Frank
Smash,
Welker has
why?
received our items for the
That's
Galaxy Con.
That's
Oh,
exciting.
the
It
Pretty
is.
Prince one arrived,
Yeah,
and I was aggrieved. Well, I love it so much.
they didn't use the pen that he sent,
And
so it's a slightly darker blue and it upset him.
no, because you can't see it properly. Like it's
it
not
doesn't
like,
stand out
no,
as much.
when we did that photo of the collection, which again people can see down below, but from a mile off you can see Lillard's signature, right?
Mhm.
And for all the Prince one isn't as bad as if it was just with a Sharpie, because then you'd really have to get up and personal and shine a light on it to see it. I just think both of them together with a prominent autograph would be like, you'd see it, and you'd, as a Scooby person, you could just see yourself melting away and going weak at the knees. And it's still got that factor if you're in the know, but if you're not looking, oh, maybe that's signed as well, it just doesn't have that effect. But it was really good, and I cannot believe, like, can you believe that something that Sarah Michelle Gellar's husband touched is in our presence? Don't you just feel, don't you feel in the mood? Don't you feel the spirit come upon us?
Please can someone comment below if this gets old for you as well as me.
What's gold? Look, we've got like 4 more episodes of this, and then you and the people can be rid of me and my shtick.
No, because we're getting closer and closer to the 2002 movie.
Yeah, but,
True.
I think we'll break. We'll break in
We're
between
not breaking.
Courage and say Scoob 2002 Monsters Unleashed. We'll probably like if well, when will it end? Because we're set to end middle of February. I say we don't start again until, and this is actually community news actually, because I want people's feedback on this. I don't know if we're gonna do that, because don't forget, and hear me out here, I'm not talking about a break necessarily, but at some point we're gonna need to consider when we're gonna tackle the likes of Boo Brothers, Ghoul School.
That's already been decided. Basically,
When?
just comment, but I've talked to myself. It's fine.
And also, I've calculated that if we were to do one episode a week, and if we were doing
we're
the
not.
series,
Oh.
it would take us 8 years to
You're
do it
making
all.
this sound so worse. You're not selling
8
this
years.
to see. You're not selling this.
I don't
You're
think
8
I've got
years.
No, but even if it's 2 a week, it's 4 years, and
Yeah, we
I
said 3 a week.
and I would not
3
want to give up. I would not want to give up, like in the between things. I would want to do all of them, and so I personally am not ready to commit myself to a 2-3 year thing. I'm just not. So I will definitely do all the movies. I'm not unless because no one really comments kind things to me anymore. So unless there was loads of people saying, "Oh, you're amazing. Please do the series."
What do you expect when your contribution's like, okay, so Daphne wore this suit, Daphne wore this move, did this move, and if you pause the video at exactly like 2 minutes 23 seconds, Daphne's bent down picking up a pencil off the floor. It's
Jeez.
like no one wants to hear this, JayBee.
No
Get
one-
over yourself.
But you've said
please.
more graphic stuff. Oh, you're weird, you are. But yeah, just okay. The people, let us know in the comment section what you want to do, because I'm willing to do stuff. But I
Basically, live action movies, they were animated movies that we didn't cover that are early, and episodes.
think,
What's that speculation?
well, to be fair though, for an episode recording would be relatively hassle free. In all honesty, so say we've been going for an hour 20 minutes now. Say an episode of What's New, it's 15 minute to 20 minute at most conversation per episode.
So we just record 3 episodes a
we
week
could
like
record
this,
in a 1
and
hour
release
session.
one Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That is more than possible.
Schedule.
100% that's more than possible. But again, it's the time.
But I'm there. It's just you, Smash, and Rihanna, and I'm sure that
Rihanna's there.
you're the most difficult one,
You're
JayBee.
there. Rihanna's there.
Yeah.
I don't know about Smash. I'm personally, because I think when we started Zombie Island, right, I would have said yes because I was a lot younger then.
It's been 6 months. You've not aged like 80 years.
No, but I love doing this, and I would hate to get to a stage where I was sick of it.
Okay, so JayBee
I really
aside,
do love it. No. Sometimes this podcast is one of the highlights
we were
of
going
my week.
over if Smash had community news.
Oh God.
Oh boy. Community news, I do not. The only thing I finally did with my life is finally put out a YouTube video. Woo! Look at me go.
Yeah, we'll obviously
Ooh,
start
and-
this channel.
I was gonna say that JayBee's like a weird inbox collector, so I was excited to finally get to see what the hex gods look
Oh
like.
yeah.
Oh, you haven't taken them out?
No, JayBee's got this weird thing with
So
boxes.
you that was, to be fair, you were gonna reappropriate my Scott Pilgrim stage to pop them on, and I wasn't gonna let you.
Yes.
No, you're not. But yeah, that was. Oh, I like the video. I obviously this is gonna do nothing more than build intrigue to it. But there's a cushion in that video, and I
Yes.
want to get it because it looks so cuddly. I wanna
That's funny.
smush
I
my
have
face
it
up against
right
it.
here with me as you guys are saying that.
Oh, I want to hug it.
So all the links to Smash's channel and everything is in the description below. Do go check that out. So I think that concludes this episode. Next week is the Gourmet Ghost.
Which to me, I'm not looking forward to.
I am looking forward to it.
I'm
feel
looking
like
forward
it's
to
a
it.
very
Oh.
so JayBee and I have never seen it. But I think it sounds a very like apt Shaggy and Scooby movie.
To me, though, it's just Scooby Doo and Gordon Ramsay said no.
There's more to cooking than Gordon Ramsay. Look, you've got a Freddie Prinze cookbook right here.
Yeah, but
you've got a Gower one in the cupboard
famous
there.
chefs. There's them. There's Gordon Ramsay. There's Jamie Oliver, and he's got the personality of white bread.
Of white bread.
Oh my god.
What? Like,
White bread's better than brown bread.
hey, don't. I'm gonna have no brown slander on this show.
Oh my god.
Once you go brown, you never let down. That's what my mum always said.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. It's all stuff to cover. So yeah, I hope people stick around for it. And
again, check out SMASH's channel. All the links are in the description.
And I will listen to the feedback in the comments if people want.
Just tell JayBee to stop being lazy and that you want everything to continue, then that's fine. Okay, so yeah, this has been another episode. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe to JayBee and Millie and SMASH.
Muriel!
Woo! What?
Muriel?
What?
You're about 2 episodes behind. 2 videos behind.
Muriel. Good day, everyone.